May the peace of the Lord be with you all. Today's Holy Mass reading, July 7, 2025, Monday. Jacob departed from Beersheba and proceeded toward Haran. When he came upon a certain shrine, as the sun had already set, he stopped there for the night. Taking one of the stones at the shrine, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep at that spot. Then he had a dream. A stairway rested on the ground, with its top reaching to the heavens, and God's messengers were going up and down on it. And there was the Lord standing beside him, and saying, I, the Lord, am the God of your forefather Abraham, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you are lying, I will give to you and your descendants. These shall be as plentiful as the dust of the earth, and through them you shall spread out east and west, north and south. In you and your descendants, all the nations of the earth shall find blessing. Know that I am with you. I will protect you wherever you go, and bring you back to this land. I will never leave you until I have done what I promised you. When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he exclaimed, Truly, the Lord is in this spot, although I did not know it. In solemn wonder he cried out, How awesome is this shrine! This is nothing else but an abode of God, and that is the gateway to heaven. Early the next morning Jacob took the stone that he had put under his head, set it up as a memorial stone, and poured oil on top of it. He called the site Bethel, whereas the former name of the town had been Luz. Jacob then made this vow, If God remains with me, to protect me on this journey I am making, and to give me enough bread to eat and clothing to wear, and I come back safe to my father's house, the Lord shall be my God. This stone that I have set up as a memorial stone shall be God's abode. Responsorial Psalm. In you, my God, I place my trust. You who dwell in the shelter of the Most High, who abide in the shadow of the Almighty, say to the Lord, My refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. In you, my God, I place my trust. For he will rescue you from the snare of the fowler, from the destroying pestilence. With his pinions he will cover you, and under his wings you shall take refuge. In you, my God, I place my trust. Because he clings to me, I will deliver him. I will set him on high because he acknowledges my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in distress. In you, my God, I place my trust. The Holy Gospel according to Matthew. While Jesus was speaking, an official came forward, knelt down before him, and said, My daughter has just died, but come, lay your hand on her, and she will live. Jesus rose and followed him, and so did his disciples. A woman suffering hemorrhages for 12 years came up behind him and touched the tassel on his cloak. She said to herself, If only I can touch his cloak, I shall be cured. Jesus turned around and saw her, and said, Courage, daughter, your faith has saved you. And from that hour the woman was cured. When Jesus arrived at the official's house, and saw the flute players and the crowd who were making a commotion, he said, Go away, the girl is not dead but sleeping. And they ridiculed him. When the crowd was put out, he came and took her by the hand, and the little girl arose. And news of this spread throughout all that land. The Gospel of the Lord. The two stories found in the Gospel reading above shows that the longing for healing, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, is one that touches the heart of every human being. They are more than just historical accounts. They serve as a roadmap for anyone seeking restoration through Jesus. Let us reflect on the power, faith, and humility demonstrated in those healing moments, and how we can apply these truths to our lives today to experience healing ourselves. First and foremost, healing begins with believing that Jesus can heal. This seems simple on the surface, but it's a profound shift in posture. It means truly trusting that He not only sees our pain but has the power and willingness to heal it. In the narrative, both the desperate father and the suffering woman came to Jesus with unwavering belief. The father didn't come with a backup plan. The woman didn't approach with hesitance. They both believed deeply. fully, and urgently that if they could just reach him, something would change. That kind of faith invites the miraculous, but faith alone is not passive. It takes action. The Father made the journey to find Jesus. The woman pressed through the crowd to reach him. They didn't wait for healing to come to them. They moved. They pursued. In the same way, we must be willing to act on our faith, whether it means coming forward in prayer, seeking counsel, or surrendering an area of our lives that we've kept tightly guarded. Faith that moves us forward is faith that opens the door to healing. A critical element in this pursuit is humility. The woman didn't demand anything. She didn't seek attention or recognition. She simply reached for Jesus in silence, confident that even the smallest touch of his presence could bring the wholeness she longed for. Healing often begins in the quiet, surrendered places of our hearts where we admit we don't have all the answers, and we lay down our pride. When we come to Jesus not with a list of demands, but with a heart open to his will, healing begins to unfold in unexpected ways. Another essential step is persistence. Healing is not always instant. Sometimes it is a journey. Sometimes, like the woman in the story, we've been suffering for years before we find relief. But her persistence is what led her to breakthrough. She didn't stop searching. She didn't give up on the hope that she could be whole. In your own life, persistence may look like continued prayer, enduring faith, or refusing to believe that your situation. And finally, embrace the truth that Jesus responds to personal faith. He sees the crowd, but he responds to the individual. He feels the touch of one hand. He hears the cry of one heart. Your pain is not lost in the sea of humanity. Your need is not too small or too big for him to notice. He is not indifferent. When you come to him in faith, he responds. Not because you are worthy of it, but because he loves you. He is moved by your faith, even if it's as small as a whisper or as fragile as a trembling hand. So, if you are seeking healing today, whether it's from sickness, sorrow, shame, or struggle, know that Jesus is still the same. Reach for him. Believe in his power. Act on your faith. Stay humble. Persist through the dark seasons. Trust that he sees you, hears you, and is willing to meet you where you are. Healing doesn't always come in the way we expect, but it always comes when we open our hearts fully to the one who holds the power to restore all things. You are not forgotten. Healing is not beyond reach. Keep moving toward Jesus and you will find him already moving toward you. Believe and be healed.